Hey, good evening, Thomas.
Happy Friday. Happy Friday to you, Scott.
It's been a long week.
Oh, such a long week.
I mean, do you mind if I kick back and take it easy on this one? If I can just, this is good. I feel like, what's his name? Cook, lawyer Cook.
Is that Backpack Lawyer?
Yes, Backpack Lawyer. That's me.
This
is how I'm going to do the show. It's going to go just like this. Unfortunately, I can't reach any of the buttons, so anything that needs to happen, you're going to have to do it on your side. Because I'm kicked back, taking it easy tonight. If only you knew how much I kick back and take it easy on this podcast, and Thomas carries all the weight.
No,
my phone is getting messages.
Of course.
Turn it down a little bit so you don't hear every message that comes through. Thomas, happy Friday. Do you have plans for the weekend?
I do. A lot of work around the house tomorrow.
How much do you charge? I have a lot of work to do around the house here, and I don't want to do it either. Oh,
it's funny you say that. So we love working in the yard. Where I come live, or as a guest to your channel, I sit in this chair to do my day job. So it's 10-ish hours a day. So when the lawn needs to be mowed, I can't wait. Edge trimming, fertilizer, etc. Mrs. Weatherwatch, she's great with the other landscape, the flowers, the shrubs, the mulch, everything. So we love it. So we actually, our neighborhood, people walk all day long, and so there's a couple of them that say, "Hey, how much do you charge to come do it?" But
it's a great question, and it's legitimate. I'm serious. Let me know the price. we might buy you a ticket if you really like doing lawn care. Oh, that's awesome.
They say, everyone has their number.
Yeah, it's just tell me the number. It's probably outside of what I can afford. Ticket's probably outside of what I can afford, but still, it's a fun idea to think somebody else could do my work for me this weekend.
That's fair. What about you guys with your small family?
I've got a lot of lawn work, yard care. We still haven't poured the concrete over the hole we dug, that big trench. This is like week 7. Hey, somebody's mowing my lawn right now. Do you hear this? Now?
No, your audio is too good. It filters it out.
There's like a riding lawnmower going right outside my window. I don't know who it is. It's dark outside. I mean, the sun set at 6:20. It is 7:03, and they just started mowing my yard. So,
do you need to beckon them to continue with your front and back?
Let them continue. I don't want to interrupt anything. They're probably drunk and at the wrong house, but let's let them get as much work done as they can before we interrupt.
Well, it's Friday and 5 o'clock somewhere. Absolutely.
Yeah. Any echoes this week, says Debbie. Let's see. Let's see if I can click on the. Hey, it's working.
It works.
I will say we don't have echoes this week, which is good because I've got smarter. Don't have echoes, but we do have multi-stream going on. So we're streaming not just here on the Recovery Addict channel. We're also streaming on the Recovery Addict Facebook page.
Oh.
And we are streaming on the new page, the new secret page, which none of you know about. Has 0 subscribers. 0 subscribers. I was waiting for a cricket sound. Hang on.
But there is one watching.
It has 0 subscribers.
Someone found. No, 2 people have found it now. Crickets. There they go.
Yeah, we're not on Twitch quite yet, Cachette. That would be nice. I don't know if the Facebook one is working. So if anybody's watching over on Facebook, or can pop over there and just see if it is coming through. I might have set it up wrong, and then I'll have to fix it for next time. But that's it.
We've got 2 viewers on the new channel so far. That's a secret. I may have or may not have just thrown the link in chat if people want to see if they can.
I actually put it in the description of the video on this YouTube channel as well, so that would help people find it. But subscriber number 2 says Leonard Amber. That's worth something.
Yeah, there they go. They're starting to pile in now. Katrina, MCAT, Portland, Trailblazers TV, Leonard Amber. They're starting to get it. So for those of you that don't know, we've been thinking about and talking about for weeks and weeks, right, Scott? About
Yes, since week 1, basically. So 10 weeks.
this is true. Since I
I
think
was
before
the weak
podcast,
link. I was the weak link.
we discussed moving the podcast to a separate channel since it's a little bit different than true crime. Mine's weather based, so we'll just kind of keep it separate. So we've been talking about a new YouTube channel to just podcast only, and then Scott did it. I didn't even know, just bam, today, and there it is. So we've got because of the comments and the remarks of last podcast when we talked about calling it not relevant, because that's such a hit.
You're talking about stuff that is not relevant.
This is our intro song now. It's just Judge Manning over and over.
You're talking about stuff that is not relevant.
We talk about things that aren't relevant. Not that they aren't important. There's a distinction. There are things that are not relevant but are important, and that's what we talk about. And they're fun things. But
agreed. So we've got the not relevant podcast channel. The link is up in chat. If you scroll up a little bit, a bunch of you already found it. There's a handful already watching on that side and still on the RA channel side. So we're doubled up. But moving forward after this week, that's where we're going to be. That's where we're going to go live. That's where all podcast content's going to be. And then I think, Scott, you're going to move
sort of
all the
dual
other
stream for a
podcasts over
while.
there.
And
Okay.
we're going to move all the other podcasts. We'll sort of hit both of them as we spread the word and spread the message.
Cool.
You're
And
talking about stuff
so-
that is
Now,
not
the
relevant.
sound effects are working. Okay. I did turn that on. Let's see. If someone is in Facebook, here's what I want to know. If someone is in Facebook and can tell me if it's working, I'd love to know. Let's see. Actually,
That'd be great.
let's see. No mods there, so free for all. Yes. Apparently, Facebook, anything goes right now in the comments over on Facebook if you're over there. I'd love to see a comment on the Facebook side because it's supposed to be filtering back through so we could. I mean, right now we have a Law Nerd Amber up on the screen, but it should take any comment from any one of the channels, and we should be able to incorporate it into the live stream that way.
It'd be phenomenal. I love this change. I don't love change, but this one I like. Now that my audio isn't coming through a harmonica underwater.
That was pretty cool for a while, in a very short while, considering what we've listened to this last week with awful jailhouse interview played through a crappy speaker into a crappy microphone. This is a big upgrade. Even the harmonica thing, I'm still just jazzed. There's a guy still mowing my lawn. I half of me wants to go see who it is. The other half is worried that if I go out there, he's going to be like, "Hey, $50, man, you owe me." So,
Yeah, you're about to get an invoice that you didn't know you asked for.
the city does that here. If you don't, it's not just your lawn. I mean, they won't do your lawn, but the park strip, I guess you call it, between the sidewalk and the street, if you don't keep that trimmed, the crew comes by and in like 2 minutes, it's all done. It's all even, trimmed, weed-eated, edged, everything perfect, and then they just add it to your bill. When
Really?
the city sends you your bill, yeah, and it's like $50. It's like that was 2 minutes worth of work, and it wasn't really a good job. I mean, it's done, but it's not like wow, I pay for that type thing.
Yeah, that's not ideal.
Hey,
Here we
hey,
go.
look. Yes. Lee's working. Emily Cash as well.
Love it.
Awesome. This is good. This is a step up. I will say, I can't stop me now. Emily's like, there are no mods. I can do what I want. Emily, we might have to mod you just so you can have responsibilities over there.
Yeah. Oh, this is so fun. And I'm glad everyone here gets to be a part of this trial experience and error and getting it in there. Yeah, Shelly, we see you testing. Awesome. This is
You know what
incredible.
made it possible? You know what made it possible? We had an incredibly generous super chat from Amber as we're trying to figure this out. One of our great mods, as we're talking about upgrading, because it's like $50 a month for this tool that allows us to do that. And she's like, "Well, here's a super chat." I'm like, "Well, you just paid for it, so that made the decision." But I'm glad, and now you can control everything as well. Thomas actually has the keys to the kingdom, so to speak. I think you could even like end the broadcast if you didn't like where it was going. There's a big red button on your side as well that whoosh, you can cut it off, right?
Right there.
Don't-
And broadcast.
Don't, Thomas.
I mean,
Thomas.
I want to.
There's some things we can talk about. A couple things. Where do you want to start this week?
Well, I feel like it's every Friday, but why not just keep the trend going? Congrats on 17,000 subscribers to your channel. Amazing. It's incredible.
I'd say congrats to the 17,000 subscribers for putting up with me for this long. Thank you so much. I'm not sure what you're drinking or who's got you fooled, but I appreciate that. No, it's been awesome. It's been really cool.
It's been a
party every week.
Absolutely. I can't imagine the ride for you. We've all been here. Well, the vast majority here in the podcast have been with you since Daryl Brooks or thereabouts. But again, it goes back to, I know you always give credit to the community in the chat and all that. And I do agree with you there. Everyone in the chat, they're so gracious. I mean, I've never seen so many memberships gifted in my life, and it's amazing. But you kind of set the standard for the environment you expect to have and what you wish. So, you got to give yourself more credit for what you're providing. Not to mention outside of the audio and visual, I see those comments ripping through chat every day as a mod. We don't even watch you. We just watch chat all day long. And so everyone's best visual ever out of any channel and everything. And because you've got the tools, but you know how to use them. And I think that makes a big, big difference. And you're so friendly and you share insight and you try to acknowledge everyone you can. That's incredible. There's so many channels of your size that will only acknowledge a super chat, and that's it, because they're too busy.
I can't even get the super chats. I miss them in all the other comments. I apologize. I apologize to those who did that, but what it's like for me, if I can put this into, for those of you that have parents, right? And you have a kid who likes to play, say, like Legos. Okay. Imagine,
Maggie Carr just sent a super sticker with 4.99.
There you go.
It's hard to miss. Where did it go? Let's see. Can you see that one?
Bam.
Oh, there it is. Okay. It's like telling your kid, how would you like to have a job where you just play with Legos all day? Like, sure, that's me. I get to play with the toys that I love all day long. And it's become my job, which is not work. Honestly, it's not work. This is so much fun to do this. It's I never thought this was possible. Honestly, I'm later in life. I've had a lot of different, I would even say careers, not just jobs. But to make that possible is just incredible. So thank you all.
On that's incredibly awesome. Maggie Carr, thank you for the super sticker. That's incredibly generous. Great question coming up here, Scott.
Mm-hmm.
So for Smile of Love, all right, what inspired you to make this channel? True, never seen the generosity that's seen here. Good job. So it's what you developed, but what inspired you? I know a lot of us know you were kind of searching for work and couldn't find what you loved, but who pushed you to do YouTube?
It's a mixture between inspiration and desperation. I'm not sure which one was greater. Being without a job
marriage.
for 7 months and having, I mean, honestly, I've got some skills that are in demand as far as what I do in IT, but none of them would allow me to do what I wanted, which was to stay here in North Carolina. I thought that this is where I want my family to be right now. And every job took me somewhere else. And so out of frustration, after 7 months of everybody wanting me somewhere else other than North Carolina, I said, let me take a break and play with my toys. I want to play with my Legos for a little while. And I connected everything and live streams Daryl Brooks. And that was
segue.
It. I do think there's some inspiration there as well that led me that way. I'm blessed more than I deserve. I know that's something you hear on a financial channel somewhere else, but really, it has been really good.
That's awesome. And Miranda Lee, couldn't agree with you anymore. Part of your success, RA, this has to do with your personality. You're humble, you're gracious, and you're kind.
Today, Nate.
I've got all the sound effects on. I did not have time to do anything between the live and this. The phone is ringing. It's Ivan. Hang on just 1 second.
Call from
Mr. Ivan.
Ivan, welcome to the podcast. How are you doing, my friend?
Hey, I really appreciate it. I know it's not the actual normal show. I appreciate you taking it. Hello, Thomas, or Weather Watch, or whatever alias we are going by in this hour.
All of the above.
Hello, good to see your chat and everybody. I don't know if Mrs. RA told you, Scott, but she and I had a little conversation while she was at the store earlier. Did she clue you in?
She answered the burner phone, which I'm impressed because she doesn't answer my phone when I call it. But she answered your call while she was at the store, and she told me that you raised yourself a boxer, and he put it to good use as far as skills go at school.
Yes, yep. She did answer my call at the store. I couldn't believe it. Like I heard a woman answer, and I was like, oh, holy, did I call the wrong number? Like, what's going on here? And she said, I know it, I know it's not who you're expecting, but no, I just wanted to kind of clue the chat in. I know, like, forever who's here from, crossover from the, Recovery Addict show. So my kid did get, I did get a call. My kid did get in a fight today at the school. And so what happened is a special needs kid was being bullied
Oh man.
by a senior. My kid is 14. He's a freshman, okay?
Okay.
Now, he does have boxing training because he's been in it for 3, 4, 5 years now, right?
Mhm.
And so, but he's not the kind of kid. He is the youngest in his class because he has a July birthday. And so he, rather than being the oldest, he's the youngest in the freshman class. He's the smallest and youngest. You get it.
Yeah.
So he's not the kind of, my point is he's not the kind of kid to go picking fights.
Right.
Okay. And so anyway, what happened is there was a special needs kid with Down syndrome being bullied at lunch, and it was kind of getting out of hand. And then the 17-year-old senior threw his lunch tray at the special needs kid.
Oh man.
And then Zion
Your son
broke his jaw. Yeah. Yeah.
Oh,
So the kid, yeah.
he landed one on him. I
Yeah.
realize from the school's perspective, all of this is bad, right? They'll look at this and say,
Yeah.
problem child on every front, right? From my side, do you have an applause button we can use here for Zion really quickly, Thomas?
It puts me in a section, man. Like,
I realize it's not a fun situation to be in as a parent, and
it totally puts me up. So what they've done, like what the school has done, is they have automatically put him on a 5-day out of school suspension. Like, what really bums him out, like on top of everything else, is that he just made the baseball team. You know what I mean? Like, he just made the team as a freshman, and now guess what? The season just started, and guess who doesn't get to play? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so that's the first and foremost like gut punch for him. But the other thing is they recommended him for a 5-day out of school suspension. But this is the tricky part, is they are leaving open the possibility to be presented to the school board. Well, what that means, anytime it gets presented to the school board, that's expulsion. Like, so.
Do they need a lot of people to call them and say, hey?
I'm hoping it does. I'm hoping the weekend will create some levity and to create some sort of understanding here. From who I've talked to, people within the school, not people like that are active on the school board, but former school board members that I've talked to said, just because it's been left open does not mean anything. They said if it was automatically being referred to, then you would have issues. But the fact that they did not do that is a good thing.
Yeah.
So basically, they're going to give it 72 hours to sort of think. But honest to God, like being expelled as a freshman, like I don't even know what that would mean. Like, you know what I mean? Like that would completely flip my world upside down. Not to mention his, of course, but like you get it. And so, all for a kid who is. This is going to be the hardest punishment I've ever had to like go out. Like he completely did the right thing, but yet it's not okay to go dropping people. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, that's a hard one. Half of you wants to cheer him on and say, "That's my boy," type thing, and the other half has to say, "Oh, there's a better way to handle this." And but Ivan, best of luck to you and hopes and dreams.
I just wanted
all works well.
I'll let you guys get on. I don't want to bombard I don't want to monopolize the broadcast. I just wanted to give some insight as to why I left. And I know a couple people saw that I left and my kid was in a fight and that's all they saw, but I just wanted to give some details as to what was going on. So have a great show, guys. I love you all.
Appreciate it.
I'll be in the chat.
All right, we'll see you.
All right, bye.
Thanks,
Thanks, Ivan.
Ivan. man, as a parent with kids in school, obviously my wife homeschools, and some of that saves us. But really, this just happens at home now. The kid who threw the punch and the kid who gets the broken jaw both live at my same house. So when this
brothers.
happens at home, homeschooling doesn't solve every problem. Ivan, we hope that all works out well. Hope the school district looks at that and sees the situation for what it is and what he was trying to do, and hopefully it all goes well. It does actually remind me of a story we're going to talk about. When you talk about school, kids doing things at school, stepping up and doing what they need to do. As Ivan's son, and Ivan, I hope you don't mind me sharing this. Ivan's son, that son had life-threatening health issues that had him in the hospital last week. And then he's already in shape good enough to break someone's jaw that needs a lesson learned. Hopefully the guy learned his lesson. I mean, honestly. So there's a story I wanted to share just a little bit about 7th graders saving the day. Okay, because that's basically what we're talking about here, right?
Yeah, kiddos.
And I'm trying to open it here, but it's in my other window. There we go. This happened in Michigan. 7th grader is being commended for jumping into action to save the bus driver when he sees the bus drivers in distress. The bus driver has, I believe it's a medical condition. And so he jumps up. The driver's like not able to drive the bus or stop the bus. It's moving at the time. So he jumps up, like steering and guides the bus to the stop. It basically saves the bus from a car accident with all the kids that are on it. And I'm not sure if you guys know this, but buses generally don't have seatbelts. Right. For some reason, we think that every vehicle except for the one that carries our kids to and from school has to have seatbelts. But for some reason, buses do not have seatbelts. And so you've just got a big can full of kids moving down the road, and a huge one at that. And he stops the school bus. DMB says, "Oh, I saw this. It's awesome." There's actually a video. I think a security camera video of that happening. And he's like, it's got like the post on Instagram has over 100,000 likes on it. But the kids from Lewis E. Carter Middle School in Warren, Michigan.
That's incredible. That is so awesome.
Students.
Yeah, I mean, you know what it had to take for him to just step up? A kid that age isn't going to go, "Oh, here's a chance to be a hero." That's just a natural instinct for him to say, "Oh my gosh, something's really wrong. I need to help." And somehow finds a way to get up there and steer and stop and no commotion. And it's obviously full of kids because it's a 7th grader who stopped it, or at least half full, right? Depending on how many stops they've made. That's so awesome. I bet the parents are so proud. That's incredible.
Yeah, that is cool. That is awesome. And Ivan, you can tell Zion that I'm proud of him as well. So I don't care what the school district says. I say that because when I was in junior high, we called it junior high, middle school. It has different terms, but I was a peer tutor for a young man that had Down syndrome, and just loved every minute. It was my favorite class to spend time with him. Just amazing kids. So I appreciate him doing that. Thank you very much. Shout out to him, says Michelle Johnson. Yep.
Yeah, absolutely. It's bullying is sad in school. I remember being bullied. We had a kid in high school. He was big, tough, strong guy, and but he didn't care about discipline or anything else. That's the difference, right? If they respect authority or they have respect for others and they care, he didn't at all. He didn't care how many times he got suspended and detention and all that. And he would do the nastiest things. And I'll never forget his name. I won't say it here because I don't want to give him the attention. I don't want to give him the credit. I don't want anyone to look up his socials. If he's even still around, I don't know. But I will never forget that individual as long as I live, and how much I couldn't stand. I wasn't the only victim that he bullied, but others as well. And he made classes in life absolutely miserable. And I'll never, ever forget it. And he's lucky I wasn't crazy enough to be one of those that just got too fed up and did something, bad about it. It's so real. It's so crazy. And it's worse now more than ever with, in my opinion, social media. It is what it is.
Yep. Unfortunately, it's a sad world we live in. And, if they don't learn as kids how to behave, they end up, we end up talking about them on the show when they're in court and figuring out what the punishment is for behavior. But Adam says, "Oh my goodness, Adam, love bullying Weather Watch." Adam joined us on a test stream. For those that don't know, Adam has succulents. He's got plants. The guy's got skills in raising plants that need no care or water.
Who's
Sorry,
the bully
Adam.
now?
Sorry, I just
Who's
had to
the
go there.
bully now?
I'm actually
Oh,
jealous.
that was
I
great.
like cactuses myself. Good
No,
to have you here, Adam. Appreciate you.
I'm with you. Actually, so I've been meaning to, I want to do peppers and have a garden and stuff like that. So actually watching Adam tune in yesterday and show what he's done, because he has some fruit trees in the mix that do take a little bit of TLC outside
Yeah,
of
they do.
succulents.
Yep.
So Adam kind of inspired me. I'm going to go ahead with my little vegetable garden to get some jalapenos and habaneros and stuff like that going. So no, I loved it. It was really fun insight with this new platform when people can get just paged in so quick and share their experiences. I think it's awesome. We're going to learn a lot about a whole bunch of this RA community and family and different
We like
ideas.
show and tell every day. We just pick a random caller. It's like, hey, guess what? Turn your phone on. It's your turn on the show. Tell us about your life. Invite us into your home. Everything. It would be a lot of fun. We have the technology now. We could do this. We could make it happen.
It's so awesome. I love every bit of it.
I will have to say, you growing a garden makes me think of all my failed attempts at growing a garden, which was
Great.
basically all of my attempts were failed attempts at growing a garden. My mom, dad, they can do great. Their gardens, amazing. It's like state fair type fruit and veggies that grow out of there. It's just incredible. I do it, and I attract bugs I never knew existed in the state. They shrivel up and die if I either water them too much or too little. I get like blossom end rot on my tomatoes. But I think I could probably grow zucchini. All right, because they just happen by themselves.
Yeah.
But my grocery store is. My grocery store is my garden. I sort of gave away the punchline there. My garden is the grocery store, and it's always got fresh fruits and veggies for me. So that's where I have to get them. But I do like a good garden salsa. Like I make a mean garden salsa. You start with 10 or 12 Roma tomatoes. You got the clove of garlic. I just start adding, and the peppers are sometimes hard to find the right peppers. Because I can mix. I end up sometimes using one habanero, no seeds, because a habanero seed can really change your day. But
and your morning.
Yes, the next day as well. Yeah. But yeah, I love that. Good luck with your garden. What updates from you and from Adam from all your growing efforts?
It's a lot of pressure. No, dude, I'm excited. I'm the same. Fresh salsas. I eat a lot. I like to cook a lot of Mexican food and do fresh salsa. So that's why I'm going the pepper route. But no, it'll be good. I'm excited. I wonder how many people in chat grow their own food, not to the full extent where you're
self-sufficient. No,
not that far. No, but they have a spice garden or a vegetable garden or something like that. I know where this is going to lead to, but
we're talking about not just edibles, but we're talking about edible foods. Okay, we don't want any confessions here that have to do with the legalities that we don't want to get involved with. Okay,
this is a federal live stream.
Yes.
So,
and what do you limit it to? I mean, are there, like, if you say yes, can you give us like a percentage of how much of your, say, like food, your monthly food intake are you able to grow yourself? If you could say, if I can do like 5%, 10%, some of you might out there maybe like, I live out of my greenhouse, 100%. Obviously you'd probably be a vegan if that was the case, but yeah. So let's see who's got the highest number.
So Denise eats her plants, which is good. Here we've got 20% so far from Jill Ballard.
Jill, that's impressive.
Oh, wow. And here we've got 90% of my herbs and veggies are grown. Tag, 45 minutes up the highway from me. I'll be there tomorrow morning with my
plant your own. You can just go harvest.
Yeah. Tag, I'll see you in the morning with my basket. That's impressive. That's good. I just don't have the time for it.
I'm seeing some good numbers. Katrina's at 20%. Grandkids Galore is at 10%. I've seen some organic farm references here. I smoke my plants 100%.
I love Chipotle flavored stuff is great. Yeah.
Yep. That's what we're talking about.
So here we go. Heidi, I grow. Oh no, I'm sorry. That's
whoops. Yeah. Herbs are great. Herbs and spices, Heidi. I'm right with you. A little bit of oregano with my pasta, homegrown oregano. You cannot beat it. Thanks for beating us to the punch there.
I love basil. Going here with Vinny's mom, what I was trying to click on. In Oklahoma, It's hard to grow. It is hard to grow, but as we were just talking about from Tag is actually based in Oklahoma as well. Let's see.
Succulent's edible. We're about to find out. Adam, actually, you can some barrel cactuses, obviously, you can get moisture out of, to drink if there were ever a drought.
And
I
cacti
told you my
fruit.
experience about yes, you've got the dragon fruit. Adam's got the dragon fruit growing. So
Yeah.
those are edible. Somebody's saying in chat over on the Facebook page, who are you on Facebook? If you type !FB over there, it'll give you a link to Facebook. Been trying to lay my own eggs. Lisa, not as easy as the chickens make it look. Oh my goodness, Lisa. Let me know how that goes. Keep us updated. Oh my goodness.
Oh, no, show it here. We don't even have to have the show. We can just highlight comments for the next hour and just
I'm just kicking back watching the chat go by. And with Weather Watch having control, I can just lean back and not do anything. Maybe even
take it easy.
This is
Oh, Bobby says I love my herbs. Yeah, I agree. Herbs, season, everything that you can make, it's just so much better. The flavor, it takes less of in a dish to be more impactful because there we go. The sound bites right on the money. I love it.
Thanks, Joel. Yes, seriously, the flavor. That's one thing. Homegrown, when you go to a grocery store, it might look good. Okay. The fruit, the veggies, they might look just like they're supposed to be on Pinterest, right?
Right.
But they don't taste the same.
Nowhere
And
near.
you can find this. You go to the egg section, you buy I don't care, whatever package, organic, quail. I don't care what kind of eggs you buy. It just doesn't seem to be the same as if you have your own chickens and you're feeding them and you know what they're eating. They're healthy. You monitor them and everything. The eggs are just so much fresher. They're so much better. You can't beat it. The same with just about any fruit and vegetable you can grow. So
I agree, and that caveats right into just the veggies and the seasonings and the spices. Basil from the store versus the basil in my yard. I can use half from my yard, and the flavor will be 10 times more impactful in my Italian dish than it will be from the store. So I'm gonna just go in here. The most underrated thing is gonna be a home garden. I'm just skipping the script and I'm going.
Most underrated. Oh man. I only have an overrated right now, so I'm gonna have to be thinking. The most underrated was like a home garden.
A home garden, whether it's proteins or veggies and fruits, it's just that is so underrated. Now I know it takes a lot of time. It's not cheap, but in the long run, it's cheaper than buying from the grocery store. But it just takes a lot of TLC, and not everyone has that. And I get that.
Yeah, and I will say maintaining a garden is more difficult as you get older. For me, even metal detecting, kneeling down and getting back up over and over and over all day long, I don't look forward to weeding at all. Let's see, what did Tag say? Okay, I'll admit it. I don't homegrown my peeps. There, I said it. So 99%, Tag, 99% homegrown. That's still a pretty good number.
So to your point, as you get older and it gets a little bit harder, that it's hilarious. So last night I was getting ready to cook dinner, and the bottom shelf is the pan that I needed to start prepping dinner. And I'm kind of beat up and older from my hockey days and whatnot. So I bent down to open the drawer and get the pot, and I make some sort of, it's my back or what have you. And our 13-year-old daughter in the living room sitting there on her phone in this little chair, and she just goes, "You're so dramatic." So now this morning I'm going to bend down and get something to make my eggs, and I'm self-conscious. Like, don't make a sound, don't make a sound, don't make a sound.
Suck it in.
Yeah, now she's in my head. She called me out.
Don't let your daughter shame you into admitting how much it hurts to move now that we're older.
And she did. Now I'm self-conscious about it.
Let's see, Tag says, Recovery Addict, we're still cruising with our reel mower.
Well, those cut the best lawns.
Teen years are the best lawn years. Just saying.
Reel mowers cut the best lawns. I mean, if you do it the right way. I mean, that's what
the golf course uses, right?
Bingo. Some are manual and some are machine operated, but those real nice pristine fairways that you see, they're big old giant machines. They're not cutting like you think with blades. They're on a reel and they're just fine chopping that. Same on the greens.
I have a confession. We had one of those as a kid.
Manual or machine?
Manual.
Okay.
The manual push, just the single wide the worst one for a kid. It's
Yeah.
like that's a nightmare. Okay.
Those are a booger bear.
I did use it, but I may have broken it. So if any family is listening, it's my fault. Sorry. Or you're welcome, depending on who's listening. But I would take it and we'd stick it upside down, like prop it up, and then we'd turn the wheels so the blades would just get going really fast, and then we'd like stick sticks in it just to see how big of a stick you could chop. And eventually we graduated from sticks to other items that weren't as easy to cut.
No,
Pretty
because
soon
the whole point of
the blades wouldn't spin.
and the whole point of a reel mower, they're extremely sharp and pristine. So when you
we didn't put our hands in there. We were
well, but you did sticks, so you ruined the whole reel mower.
but you could get that wheel cranked because it's geared, right? So it's you start pushing the thing. Those blades can really get humming.
Yeah,
And
they get a lot of momentum.
For the big sticks, you'd really have to get it going fast and then just jam it in there to get a good cut. But
You'd find the downhill, then the street to get it going, so you could jam a bat inside of it.
maybe.
Oh no!
Yeah, sorry.
I feel like I want to out you to your family. That's just terrible.
I'm old enough and I'm far enough away from all of them. I think I'm safe. So I moved out to the East Coast. Most of them aren't out here, so they can't get me now.
I love lawn work so hard that hurts my heart because we had a reel mower not long ago and had to get rid of it, and I was so sad. And now to hear about reel mower abuse live on the podcast, I'm sad.
No, I have to start taking care of my yard a little bit better as I've got the Airbnb coming up. I now have to worry a little bit about curb appeal. That's sort of maintain the bushes and stuff around the house. It's like I've become a landlord a little bit.
A lot of it technically, but
Yeah.
let's hear more about the Airbnb. How many people at sleep? Is it 1, 2 bedrooms?
It's gonna be 2-bedroom. It's 800 square feet.
Okay.
And it's 20 by 40. It's only got like a 8.5-foot ceiling, so it's sort of a lower ceiling, but it's going to be all that nested bamboo flooring thing.
Yeah,
throughout the entire thing, and it's brand new. The walls are the only thing that existed still, and everything's going to be covered up. So we've got one bathroom. It's going to have the fastest internet on in the state. I'm not sure if we're going to go with a 2 gigabit but a 10 gigabit plan, but just because I want it, and then I'm going to split it off safely using VLANs and everything else to keep my network safe. So I want just like 5-star reviews is what I want, but it's only going to be available for nurses who are traveling in the area. It's not going to be like a full-on Airbnb that I could put out.
because you have to advertise that on a special, unique platform made for traveling nurses, right? Like we can't find it at Airbnb or VRBO. So when you say 2-bedroom, is it a 2-bedroom, 2 baths, so you can have 2 separate nurses at once, or is it set up for?
It's designed for one person or one small or one group. Usually, some of the nurses when they travel, they'll partner up and they'll say, "Hey, let's rent a place," and it would be
split the cost.
Pretty inexpensive. Best internet, awesome TV, sound system, kitchen, cutting edge. I don't know why I can't make that sound go off. Oh, yes, I do. I'm an idiot. I fixed it. Okay. There we go. All right. Sound's fixed. Sorry.
We've got sound. What do we have a grand or soft opening date in mind? I know it changes because you're still building.
No, we're still waiting. We're still pouring concrete over the holes. Where we are right now, we have all the walls built. We just pulled all the insulation out because we had insulation in it. But then the inspector said, "I want to see all the wires. I want to be able to just stand back and just view everything without looking at it." So we had to pull all the insulation back out. So it's all stacked up in what is going to be the closets of the bedroom. We just put in the windows. So we have 4 windows. One of the kitchen sink, because you need one. Nobody likes to do dishes staring at the wall, right? You've got to have a window out there,
right?
and I as a landlord, I do not want a dishwasher because I think that's the thing that breaks and leaks more than anything else. So
you'll end up with flood water and yeah.
So they got a window there, and they've got each bedroom obviously has a window for egress. In case there's a fire or something, which, after last night, I'll have to tell you, my family went out with some friends. We had dinner and they're like, "Hey, let's make s'mores." Well, guess whose kids are pyros? Yep, that would be mine. So
how many out of the 6?
Like all of them. We could not pull them away from the fire. It says, "Hey, Scott, the count to 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. What's that about, Amber? The sound is still coming through. I swear I fixed it.
You sound great on my end.
Are you hearing the ba-ding, ba-ding, ba-ding?
Not for me.
No? Okay, then then ignore it. Every time I get a text message on the burner phone, which is about 15 seconds on average, day or night, that's the new average. It's ringing on my computer through my headphones. But
Amber might need to check what's going on in here for the noises. That's going. It's been a long week.
Anyway, I don't know what led us to the fire thing. Oh, wait, if there's a fire, egress windows could happen. That's where it was. So yes, right. The windows are in, the doors are in. We have a one door is a full glass with internal shades. That's the main door, so you can have a lot of light coming through that one. That's over by the kitchen, and so you can look out and see their car, or that's about
right.
It. But
which that brings comfort to some in a foreign place. If I can look out and know my car's still there and it's still fine, I don't have to go check on it.
No, I was saying, hey, look, you can count to at least 4. Thank you, Amber. Appreciate you. Amber's the one who made it possible for us to have this live stream today, because she gave us super chat, and we pulled the trigger, made it happen.
We've got 29 free days left. 3 more podcasts we put together.
I think we're going to keep it. It has 1080p, which a couple of you said you could not live without watching us on the big screen in 720. Just as it would be like listening to Letitia all day, every day, for the rest of your life. So I understand. We'll make it work for you.
Can't do it. I have to admit, confession time. Usually about halfway through the afternoon, I have to mute the channel and just continue modding chat in silence, because Letitia I can't work. I can't think. I'm just done. And the comments are actually hilarious. So
the comment section alone, if we could just package that up and just, it's so good. It doesn't need the video. It doesn't need me. It doesn't need the video, the trial thing. It's just, we just need to run a comment section.
The people in the comments are phenomenal.
You guys are great. Speaking of landlords.
Yeah.
Speaking of landlords, have you heard about any landlords? Maybe.
So I actually have, and it's funny. And I'm not going to paint you in the same light. I don't think. I feel like I know you well enough that this is not going to be you. A lawsuit filed against you for this. So it actually brings us back to Germany. And I think on podcasts,
so many good stories out of Germany.
I think
Germany's like the world's Florida. That's what it is, right? German man does such and such.
Well, I think podcast 3, I had an article about public pools and women being able to go topless because men could, or something, and that was in Germany. I'm pretty sure
that was a couple of weeks ago. Yeah.
Okay, so now we've got tenants in Germany. So think of a place in the city where your first floor is all office buildings, and then floors 2 through 8 is now residential apartments above, right?
Yeah.
So the landlord who owns the building, obviously, he enjoys sunbathing in the nude in his courtyard of the building.
What?
Yeah, so some of the tenants have refused to pay full rent, especially on floor 1 where the offices are, because they're trying to conduct business, and there's landlord getting rid of tan lines.
Nobody want to see that.
Yeah. You're not closing a whole lot of business deal. I mean, depending on your clientele, in a meeting when your landlord's in the back window doing that. So they have refused to pay rent or full rent because of that. So they filed suit. This is in Frankfurt, Germany, and the court ruled. I know you haven't read this article or have seen it. What do you think the court ruled on it?
Oh man, this is Germany. So
it could go either way.
I'm thinking the court made the tenants pay 3 times the amount and won't let them out of their lease. it's
close. Yeah. No, he doesn't owe him anything. It's his place.
Nothing.
Be as you will, be as you are. It's his place. He can do what he wants. It's I gotta jump in here. I hear Baby Bear, German chocolate. I don't eat sweets. My birthday, German chocolate cake every year. It's all I eat. Love it. Incredible.
I'll eat the sweets,
Germany.
Baby Bear. I eat the sweets. Thanks, Baby Bear. By the way, Baby Bear sent me the cowboy candy pickles, or not pickles, pickled jalapenos, and it's also like a bread and butter pickled jalapeno. Oh my goodness! Speaking of jalapeno, the pepper, the seed. Yeah, right after the live stream, everyone was saying, eat one. I'm like, no. And I get in the kitchen, I'm going to put them back in the fridge. I'm like, oh, I'm going to eat one. And I grab a fork and grabbed a couple. I got like one jalapeno seed, that I chewed once and then it went like landed like halfway down my throat and just stayed there. And
That's
just,
not
like,
ideal.
kindled. It's just like it was smoldering just for a little bit. I'm like, just like it didn't want to go up or down, and either way, it was just going to burn. But oh my goodness, they're so good. They're delicious. Thank you, Baby Bear, for those. Those are Cowboy Candy is fantastic.
That's awesome.
Nudity
And
is
that's-
not seen the same way in Germany.
Yeah, I agree. In many countries, in many areas, absolutely. Where I grew up originally in San Diego as a youngster, for years and years and years prior, there was Black's Beach that was a nudist beach. And I think I've even talked about it on the show before. Reason being, it took a fairly long hike down these cliffs to get there. And to get there from either side of the beach, north or south, it was quite a bit of a jog and a run. So families and kids and children and whatnot were exposed to it, right? So it was kind of a safe haven for those that chose to do so. I don't know what year it was, but I always like to say recently until I learn how old I am. And it's not 2 years ago, it was 13 years ago, but that's when that's when they deemed it no longer legal there. Although I know it's still practiced by some because I've been home to visit and have seen what happens and whatnot. But it's viewed and treated differently in different regions, cultures, areas. Absolutely.
Cool. I don't think I could do it. Nope, not for me. So,
No, you couldn't pay me enough money to do this podcast with my shirt off, let alone walk around a beach naked. That's not going to happen for me.
I guess the OBX recovery addict convention is not going to happen for Thomas. Right? We're going to get to the beach, do some metal detecting. Fully clothed.
I'll wear the fishing shirt, cover up, keep the sun off the skin.
Yeah.
It's
I'll wear my kilt, so I'll be perfectly decent. It'll be good.
Don't start the conversation. We don't need to happen again.
Oh man, that's funny. That's good time. Do you want to go straight into a top three?
Let's do it. Yeah, I like it.
We came up with a topic for top three. I think it was about 30 seconds before we went live. So you have not told me any of your top three.
Nope.
I'm not sure if I even remember the category, but I'm gonna just wing it here. And if I get it wrong, then you're just stuck and have to think fast on your feet. But we wanted to find out from you, and we'll chime in as well, what your favorite non-alcoholic, so basically kid-friendly beverages are.
Okay. So for me, that's hard. So beverages are almost to me like music. You can't say what's your top three songs or genres, at least for me, because to me, music depends on mood. So, I could have 8 to 10. I don't know. So beverages are kind of the same way. It depends on the mood, summertime versus wintertime.
Okay.
My beverages will change, but I'll just go generically. So I'm going to go.
You starting at the top or the bottom?
I'm going to go. Oh man, I'm going to start at the top, number 3,
Okay.
for nostalgia. So it's the soda or pop, depending where you live. My dad and I used to drink them together. It's Squirt.
Oh, that's like it's like grapefruit, right?
No, not as bitter, but you're on. It's citrus. It is citrus, and it's different than say Sprite. It's got. I mean, it's all sugar, but it has a more citrusy, more volume of a flavor than
Do they
just.
still make it? I mean, is it
Absolutely, I still get it every once in a while. Yeah. Yep.
Oh man, I'm seeing. I wrote my answers down already, and you guys have better answers in chat, so I might change them because nobody's gonna know.
So, Kathy, sweet tea and water counts. Corona, that's out because we can't give that to the kiddos.
You shouldn't anyway. Bobby Hansen. This should have been my number one. Sorry, it's fine. I was clicking on Bobby here. Grapefruit juice. I do love. Love it. I have to do it sweetened. I can't do. As a matter of fact, when I eat a grapefruit, I cut it in half and I use a little knife and I cut the little wedges. I eat it with a spoon. So you just slice it in half and then you like scoop out each thing, but you have to cut the slices down the side or else it tears. First, I just sprinkle sugar all over the top.
I was going to say, how much sugar do you use?
Delicious. Yeah,
it's like a rhubarb. Like you can't eat a rhubarb.
No, don't go there. Rhubarb is not for human consumption. Grapefruit, on the other hand, is tasty. But.
Enough sugar can cover everything. So, are you taking grapefruit juice as your number 3?
No,
or are we just
no.
No, you can't. You can't renege on your picks.
Well, okay. I was reading it from chat. I can't steal. I'm gonna stick with with what I've got. I'm going to say homemade root beer.
Oh.
By homemade root beer, I'm not talking brewed root beer. We're talking about I guess it's called a cold brew, where you take the root beer extract. I thought I brought it in here because we got some sent to me that was amazing. You take the root beer extract, and yes, Thomas, you add 5 pounds of sugar, and then and it is 5 pounds of sugar. You add 5 gallons of water, and then you add, I think it's 5, 5, and 5, right? And then you add 5 pounds of dry ice.
Oh, wow.
And it carbonates it. And it also it's like it's a toy for the kids as well. You know, you play with it until you either pass out from breathing in all the carbon dioxide, or you get burned from the dry ice, and then you just drink it away. And usually it always ends with the dry ice. It freezes the water in the root beer and ends up like at the bottom of the cooler. It's like frozen, and you can't get any out. So you end up having to dip into the smoke and get your drink out. It's pretty good, but love it. Absolutely love it.
And that only makes top 3. I'm excited to see what 2 and 1 are with the science behind everything. I'm just going off of what I go to the local corner store and pick off the shelf. Now I feel like an underachiever.
It's a lot of work, says Southern Comfort, but it sounds refreshing. It really is. The kids love it. I mean, and there are so many. If you've never bought dry ice, you are missing out. There are so many fun things you can do with dry ice. If you have like a steel countertop, you break a little piece of dry ice off and put it on there, and it's like chatters and it's like skitters around. Then take a spoon and like push a spoon against the piece, and it will like squeal in protest, like it's crazy. And of course you can do all the not inhale tricks where you breathe the dry ice smoke into your mouth and bring it out your nose like a dragon. That's just all dads have to learn how to do that. But
do you homeschool by chance?
Yes, we do. One other thing. Okay, since you're on the topic, yes, you can make small explosives out of dry ice, and I have done that. I'll share a story at one time that I nearly killed myself or someone else doing it, but I did a very large explosion, and I mean very large explosion. But to do it safely, and well, as safe as it can be, use a Ziploc bag. Put water in, put a little bit of, I'm talking like a Ziploc brand, because the cheap Walmart ones that don't seal, they're not going to hold the pressure. But a Ziploc bag, you just seal it, and it will just, and it blows the seal, and it makes a nice pop. But there's no shrapnel flying around. There's no, missing fingers or anything else that typically goes with dry ice explosives. But
that's why they say the perfect murder weapon's an icicle. So I left Natural Empress's comment up because pineapple soda. So my number 2 is pineapple Fanta. Now, Fanta got real popular with their orange flavored. That was where they started in glass bottles. They kaboomed. Then they went plastic. They still did the orange. And then they did pineapple Fanta. And it is amazing. I will drink pineapple Fanta while I eat a breakfast burrito in the mornings. It's amazing.
I can't do soda for breakfast. If I do that, first of all, if it's got caffeine in it, like if it's a Mountain Dew or something, I will be out by the afternoon, because I will ride high for a few hours, and then the crash is spectacular.
You look like the T-shirt during trial.
Yes, it would be pretty bad, but no. Okay, so that sounds good. I like Fanta. I'm trying to remember when I was a kid, we had a little gas station, corner store gas station, and it didn't really have gas. I don't know what he sold. I think he just had a pop machine. It was like a gas station, but all he had was a pop machine and like a bike pump. I don't remember them having gas pumps there. And he had this pop machine, and it was 25 cents, and he would have Fanta in there, but it was red cream soda.
Oh, that's good. That's real good.
I kept that guy in business. I stole enough quarters from brothers, sisters, neighbors to keep him single-handedly in business, and it was delicious. Red cream soda as well, Linda. That's a good one. If you can't make root beer, you can make cream soda. Almost the same, sort of. Some people can't tell the difference.
It is true. We've got, let's see, what else we got here? We've got Canada Dry Birch beer back in the day. That Trump says cream soda's good. You're getting a whole bunch of them. Let's see. We've got we had more.
Birch beer. I remember. I think I might have told my story about ginger beer, non-alcoholic ginger beer, and getting pulled over with about 50 bottles of look-alike. It looks like alcohol, and we've got all these bottles in this car driving off the mountains in the middle of the night, and I'm trying to keep them under the seat so the cop can't see them rolling around and they're clanking together. It was so bad. just about got in a lot of trouble, but
Not
I
as
do
much
like-
trouble as Lisa.
Yes, moonshine. Just own it.
AJ, these are amazing. My mom used to make them when I was a kid. Absolutely so good. I'm just too lazy to make them myself, but that makes me want to make some this weekend. Orange Julie's was incredible. Is incredible. Absolutely.
Yep. Fantastic.
I'll skip to my number one.
Okay.
And I think because AJ, I don't know if I saw your comment, but I think you did. But it is what it is. I don't drink it all the time because it's so bad for you. But if I had to pick one that I could have for the rest of my life, I'm going with Dr. Pepper, 27 flavors. That's the one I'm doing. Have you seen the trick online where they talk about you mix? I don't know the ratios, but is it Coke? I think it's Coke and root beer.
Mhm.
It's like 3-to-1 or whatever. And then it tastes exactly like a Dr. Pepper. I haven't tried it. I've seen the videos a million
So
times.
Coke has like 3 flavors, and root beer has the remaining 24.
24. Yep, exactly right. It's exactly
It adds up to 27, however it is.
Yep. Yeah. So I've seen it, and I want to try it actually. But Dr. Pepper's my go-to.
Do you remember that? What's that video where is it Brendan Fraser, where his mom like drinks like hot Dr. Pepper, or the dad drinks hot Dr. Pepper? Let me butcher the video for you if you haven't seen it. It starts out, it's like back in like the 60s or 70s, I don't remember what, or maybe 50s, but it's back in that time period, and the family thinks that there's going to be like a nuclear explosion, and they run out to the nuclear bomb shelter, and they climb in, and an airplane crashes on their house, and all the neighbors think they're dead, but they live in their bomb shelter thinking that the whole world has ended above them, and they drink like Dr. Pepper and everything, and eventually he comes up and he's like, oh wow, the future, people have, and it's like in current day. What movie am I talking about? Everybody has seen this, I know.
Yeah, we're gonna need chat help on that one.
Thomas is like, nope. Blast from the Past. Thank you, Boogie. Thank you very much. It's a real movie. It's not like it's even mainstream. Pleasantville. Did I smile? I'm not sure if it's Pleasantville. I don't think I've seen Pleasantville, and it might be something completely different.
Rich just changed my number one real quick.
Okay, so you've done 1 and 2. How many have I done? Have I just done one of them? Okay.
You did your science experiment. Now
I'll do my
you're
middle. Now this is Tag keeps sending a message, and I keep missing it. Hang on 1 second. Recovery Addict. My birthday is Monday, so this weekend is my birthday Vincinity weekend, and we'll be having it. I don't know how to say this. How do you say A with 2 dots over it? Argert, Sprite floats while hiking up. Yont. Tag, what are you doing to me, Tag?
So Lant is so I don't know the German word, but Lant Scott, it's a misspelling. That's Mount Scott, because that's right between Tag and I. So I know what she meant there. That's Mount Scott.
All right.
But you're on your own on the German.
She's throwing me out under the bus. I have no idea how to pronounce those. Tag, happy birthday in advance. That is awesome. Enjoy your walkabout up in Mount Scott. That is awesome. Thank you so much. Okay, so let me go to my middle pick. Okay, because I started with root beer. Now this one it's not my middle pick by volume. I'm not like voting on how much I. What's going on here?
Well, I didn't know if there's more science involved. I was going to take a note on what to do.
No, this is not by volume. I don't drink more. This is not the second most consumed beverage. But I do like spicy maple bourbon juice.
Do you really? I
Yes.
think everyone's wondered if you ever just drink it.
Yes, and you can only take about a shot's worth of it. Okay, because honestly, I'm not sure if it's good for me or not. Everyone's like, "Oh, pickle juice, it helps with cramps." Pickle juice is different than spicy maple bourbon juice. Okay, and I'm not a drinker, so I don't know if this is just me getting my non-alcoholic fix of it tastes like bourbon or not. but the juice from spicy maple bourbon pickles is fantastic. It's really good. It's the
pickle
brine.
juice is great when you're running half marathons. If you're streaming for 12 hours a day, you're not supposed to drink a jar of pickle juice. That's a lot of sodium. So it's kind of relative, right? That's the difference.
Well, they sell them in single serving size. So I assume you eat all the pickles, you drink all the juice. That's 1 serving, right?
No, that's not how it breaks down.
Oh, I was close. I was close. Oh,
And then, or like Red Pen says, unless you
no.
put it.
Yes. Oh my goodness, that was so bad. Red Pen. Never again. Not going to go there. I'm hesitant. I do have some suggestions for what else to do with pickle juice, as far as on baked potatoes and things like that I need to try. So I'm going to give that a go as well.
Okay,
No
that's fair.
science there. No science. It's just good. Just open it, drink it. You're good to go.
So I have not yet tried it. And I've been through about, since finding your channel, probably 14, 16 jars of spicy maple bacon pickles. So now I'm going to try it this weekend because I have one jar with about a third left of pickles. Probably going to do it right after the stream. So I
Do
need
it.
sodium.
Why not? Hey, chat.
No,
What-
no,
what-
no. It's downstairs. It's too far. The dogs.
Help
I
me out
can't.
here.
No, I can't get down there.
Oh,
All my straws are dirty. It's not, I just can't do it.
We'll give you a pass this time. Okay,
We
so
agreed to quit on the food challenges, by the
we
way.
did.
And drinks
We
fall
did.
into that category.
okay. I know that if I twist your arm, it will just come back and bite me again. So I will agree to give you a pass.
I'm gonna try it next week's podcast. It's gonna happen now. Have to. So, what's your number one?
My number one. Have you done all three of yours?
Yeah, I did.
Okay.
Squirt, pineapple
Okay.
Fanta, Dr
Yep.
Pepper.
Okay, you did. Okay. I drink milk. I drink milk like I'm a baby cow. The joke when I was growing up is that we needed a cow to keep the milk, keep us in supply of milk. But I drink a lot of milk. The gallon challenge is not a challenge for me.
Oh,
I love milk. That's it. The secret's out of the bag, and whole milk, not 2%, not this half water stuff, not the 1% that's just like colored water. I drink whole milk, and all I can. We go through. Let's see, 12 gallons of milk a week is what we went through last week.
12 gallons.
That's 12. Now realize we've got 6 kids, right? They're all at home, so they drink a fair amount as well. It's not me just like chugging milk nonstop. I drink water all day long, but almost any meal doesn't matter what it is, it goes with milk.
Yeah, but I heard 5 of your 6 kids hate milk, so 12 gallons.
No, they're all like me. I need a milk cow. That's $40 in milk per week. My wife reminds me of that, Pam D. She does. We have the whole top shelf of our refrigerator, one of those double wide refrigerators. That's the milk shelf.
I'm not surprised because you're the one and only person. Well, no, I'm sorry. Matthew Harris Law outed himself, but you're the only person I know that cuts a piece of cake and dumps it into a bowl of milk. So I'm not surprised.
It's not just cake. Lee's with me. Lee, thank you. You, me, and the cows, we're together on this one. But
That's
anyway,
I
I knew I wasn't going to get a lot of support as far as like, hey, me too on that one. But that is a true confession.
You're getting more support than I thought. So the question: do you ever dive into the almond milks or any of the other alternatives, or are you a whole milk, a 2%, a skim? What's your flavor?
I do branch out frequently. I branch out between, actually, I guess it's 2. I alternate. I go between whole milk and whole chocolate milk. The 2 are the. That's all I do. Chocolate milk and whole milk. No almond milk. No coconut milk. I can't even stand coconuts.
So it's kind of like, and help me out here, chat, for the actual word because I'm forgetting. But if you go out to eat, you go to a brewery and you ask for like a flute of flavoring cups of their brews. Do you go to Cheddar's and ask for a flute of their different milks that they have?
You find it milk.
It's each other 6 different brews.
Yeah. So what's this vintage? It's good for 7 days. I'll take it. Yeah.
This one expired 5 years ago.
People say milk goes bad. We never have it long enough. And
Well, it
now
just becomes yogurt afterwards, anyways. Right?
So when I went over to England, I was over there for a couple of years. When I went over to England, the first time I went to the store, this is what blew me away. I went looking for the milks in the milk section, and there wasn't any. I'm looking through the cold section, and there's no milk. I'm like, where's the milk? So I have to ask, where's the milk? And they tell, it's on aisle 7 type thing, halfway down on your left. I'm like, that's not the refrigerated section. I think I was asking for the milk. Anyway, go down the aisle, and sure enough, they have this thing called UHT, ultra high temperature milk. It looks like it's I don't know, motor oil type package, one of those cardboard. not motor oil, something else. There's a different thing I was thinking of, and motor oil came out of my mouth. Sorry about that. Didn't look like motor oil at all. Okay, but the milk, I pick it up and it says milk on it, and it says UHT, ultra high temperature, and I flip it over to check the date, and it expired like years in the future. Years.
Oh, in the future.
In the future, it's
Okay.
it's like the Twinkie of milk that is always good.
So it never
goes bad. So, shelf stable milk, good to have on hand. DMB, that's like for an emergency, but that's why you hope emergencies never happen, because then you would have to drink that milk, and that's like worst case scenario.
It's true. And those are items I feel like anytime you revisit in the cupboard, just to, when was that again? And you double check, somehow it re-ups its date on its own every time you go to check it. Just
As far as like emergency food that you want to have on hand, if you have like emergency stores, I would put like the shelf stable milk or UHT milk right there next to like split peas, and anything else that you're never going to use, like the dehydrated refried beans. It's like the dehydrated sour cream. It's not going to be good when you make it. When you add water, it's not going to be just like the original. Oh, it's like grandma made it. No, it's not going to be like that at all. It's going to be disgusting, and you're going to regret it. But it's good to have, just so you can say you have it in case there's an emergency. Maybe you can trade it for somebody who doesn't know any better. But and then you can survive that way. Anyway, milk.
It reminds me of that series, The Walking Dead, when you got to preserve everything you can to get through it. So I was going to take a guess at yours, and I was going to say lemonade, only because your stream the other day, you had some, and I felt like you were kind of hiding that from your fans. Like you have it more often than you advertise. So I was trying to roll the dice, and that was where you're going to go with it. I never would have guessed milk. I would have lost in Vegas.
I love lemonade. Honestly, when I got this house, it has a porch, a nice sized porch outside. And I thought people are going to come over all the time and say hi, and they don't. But we should always have lemonade on hand in case, because this porch and lemonade just go together. Just kick back on the porch and have lemonade. But the only people that come to our door are the mailman. He spends like 30 seconds. First, he breaks our mailbox every time he opens it, and then he sticks the mail in, and then he spends the rest of the 27 seconds trying to put the lid back on the mailbox, which is like a hinge one. But every time he lifts it up, if you just lift it up, it will close and it's fine. But he picks it up and slides it off to the edge, and it like comes off the rail, and then he's like trying to jam it in the mailbox, and every time I have to go out and fix it. But I don't give him any lemonade for that. If he could figure out the mailbox, I'd give him lemonade.
Regular or pink?
Regular. Pink is not good.
What makes it not good? They're so close.
What does it come from? Have you ever seen a pink lemon? No. Nobody's seen a pink lemon. Lemons are yellow. Lemonade is yellow.
Do you know if you're drinking milk from a black cow?
Don't use logic on it.
I'm just saying too.
The chocolate milk. Everyone knows this, Thomas.
Oh, I don't even know where we go from here after that.
You guys had some great suggestions as far as beverages. I do drink. I like blue raspberry. I do drink pink lemonade. I just feel weird giving it to people because it's like, what's this? I don't know. Like it's pink lemonade. Why is it pink? I don't know. It just.
Have you ever offered pink lemonade to anyone and they've asked you why?
No, I'd be too ashamed to do it. Oh man.
Pink lemonade. Here we go. Bam.
Pink
Grapefruit, which you were just talking about. Oh, never mind. Pink lemonade equals grapefruit. Pink. I think they meant grapefruit lemonade.
MCAT says pink lemon is grapefruit, but it's different. Pink lemonade and grapefruit are not the same. I'm fine with grapefruit juice being pink. As a matter of fact, it's good. That is another thing. As far as drinking the juice, oh my goodness. Okay, this is even better than spicy maple bourbon pickle juice. If you go to the store, you can buy like Dole makes the little jar, that plastic jar with a big huge lid, like a peanut butter jar lid.
Yeah.
And you can buy pre-peeled like grapefruit slices.
Yeah, I've seen it. They're kind of floating in there, not floating, but they got grapefruit juice all in there.
And they're sweetened. You can get it sweetened or unsweetened. I get the sweetened one. You eat those out, and I can chug that whole thing of juice. Yeah, I'm sure it's just straight sugar, Okay. Oh my goodness. And then the buzz is unbelievable.
You need to
sugar for days.
Your entire top 3 needs to be revamped from something that's out of a jar because that's where it's all coming from.
Oh man.
That reminds me of a kid with the fruit cups in my lunch bag, and you eat the little peaches and whatnot, and then at the end you just down the peach juice, which is nothing but just straight sugar water, but it's just what it is.
It's good. It's tasty. I love it. And I'm not ashamed. Simply Lemonade runs my household. It is so good. Somebody's calling in on the burner phone. It's Ivan. Let's see what it's going to say. Ivan, just 1 second here.
Call from
Mr. Ivan.
Ivan, as we're talking about beverages, you called up, and I was curious what your top 3 would be. So you tell me your top 3 beverages first. Family friendly, kid friendly, and then
I feel offended. I feel offended that I was not contacted for a top 3 beverage.
Well, here it is.
Beverage.
What would you do? Top 3. And we're saying.
Well, first and foremost. First and foremost, my favorite of all time is a Long Island iced tea. Okay. That is my first and foremost favorite. But what we were just talking about is Squirt. Weather Watch was talking about Squirt. Nothing mixes better with Squirt than a shot of whiskey. That is a classic whiskey sour. I mean, come on, like that is as old as time. That is right in line with the Dead Sea Scrolls. That is as old as life itself. Okay, like it doesn't get any more classics than that.
Okay.
And so, then, like, believe it or not, my favorite drink of all time. You're gonna laugh at me.
Nope.
And the chat may discontinue me from all time.
What?
Nothing, and I mean nothing, beats a kitty cocktail.
Say that one more time, a little louder.
Nothing beats a kitty cocktail.
Yeah. A kitty cocktail. You have to be careful how I say that.
A kitty cocktail is the greatest drink of all time. I don't care how old you have to be. I don't care what the chat wants to do to me. Crucify me at the stake. Go ahead. Nothing is more delicious than a fresh kitty cocktail.
Well, Ivan, a Long Island iced tea, whiskey sour, and a kitty cocktail. Not quite in the family-friendly kid drink category, but we'll give you a pass this time because I know that you have some business interests that are supported by your choices. So.
Nothing beats it. Hey, every kid loves a kitty cocktail. Like whenever you're out at the at the local establishment, and the parents are ordering old fashions. Nothing beats a kitty cocktail when you're 12 years old. Like you feel so grown up. You feel so on par with the adults. It is the greatest drink there is.
Okay, so 6 Volt Bus is asking what's in it. Thomas, are you familiar with this drink?
Yeah, so there's two kitty cocktails. So there's the kitty, which is what Ivan's referring to, Kiddie, which is a Shirley Temple. And then there's the adult version, Kitty, Kitty, which is somewhat similar, but that actually has dry gin. But Ivan's referring to Kitty, Kiddie, Shirley Temple. So that falls in line with our top 3 and is now family friendly. Yeah.
Okay. With the cherry. Is that what you're saying? So.
Absolutely.
You get the extra like Moshante's cherries like on top. Like, oh my God, like when you're like 9, 10 years old and your parents are getting hammered off of old fashions and they're drinking too many brandies and you're telling them to order another kitty cocktail, like, and you're in the corner playing the video games while they're ordering nothing makes you feel cooler when you're ordering kitty cocktails. Let me tell you what, like
that's where it all
that
starts.
is the ticket.
Right.
No arguments. That's a great drink.
I can neither confirm nor deny, obviously, but haven't tried it. But awesome, Ivan. Appreciate you chiming in. As always,
have a great
good
night,
to
guys.
talk to you. We'll see you, my friend.
All right, bye-bye.
Bye. All right. I would say that there have been some fantastic drink choices out there.
I'm
Hopefully,
thirsty.
I inspired all of you to run to the store and get something this weekend, and maybe have some good weather to enjoy it with as well.
Now I'm thirsty and I'm hungry. Gardens, self-feeding,
Mhm.
drinks. I mean, I don't know where to go from here.
I don't know. Do we wrap it up here? Do you want to go? Do we have another story? Right? Do we have another story? I don't know if we do anymore. We might have had a story, but it might be gone.
We have one that just it doesn't fall in line with the theme of everyone that's now thirsty and hungry.
Now you've got my curiosity piqued. I have not heard the story. I have not read the story. What?
So
You have to
go
you have to tell it. You can't you can't tease us and then not deliver.
I wonder how far we're going to go with. So it's completely separate, different talk, but it's hilarious to me when I saw it. And there's a few in chat that know we've got some horses and we just had a little filly. So it kind of hit home with me. But so the king, he's got his guards and all this, and a lot of the guards, they're on horses. So the king's guard horse headbutts a woman that's walking by, and then another woman walks by and the horse bites her ponytail. The
Like
horse
a
was
rogue horse.
No.
Just
a
in the-
ro-
Go on beat.
Thank you, Mr. Arputlian. Perfect timing on that, Adam. Appreciate triggering that.
boot. So the horse went
kings are-
rogue.
These horses are amazing horses. I mean, they're for show. They're very well trained. They're just incredible. And so many times you'll have tourists that are coming up and stand next to them. You're not supposed to touch them. I believe. I think they tell you not to do that, but it seems like the horse also you would think shouldn't touch the tourists. Generally, you'd think that would go both ways. A little bit of a reciprocity type thing.
Yeah, not supposed to happen. They are extremely intelligent and extremely well trained animals. But at the end of the day, they are animals. So whatever, and there's a video of it too with the lady standing there and just yanks her back with his mouth.
Trina says, I watch those guard videos all the time. I like the ones where where the guards put people back in line, where people are misbehaving. I say that because I threw a frisbee into Prince Charles's backyard when I was in England.
On purpose?
Literally. No. And I originally were thinking maybe we can just hop the fence, but it's a tall fence. It's like a 15-foot stone fence, and I think there was stuff on top, like sharp things. And so we're going around, and I rang the bell, okay, because the fence goes all the way around. First, we look for a way in, and I ring the bell, and the guard comes up, and he's like, "No, you can't go back there. We can't go back and get it because someone will be at the house within the next hour, and no one can be seen out there. And so anytime in the hour, if they show up, they can't see even a guard. They can't even have a guard walk back there in the back. That would be inappropriate." So I lost my frisbee. Prince Charles stole my frisbee.
I wonder, do you ever wonder where
He's
that
got enough
frisbee
money, he
is
could
now?
buy his own frisbee. No, he's probably still in the backyard. No one's gone back to get it.
Someone mowed over it.
Yeah. With one of those little roller mowers.
With the real mower.
Revenge. They got me back.
The kids went back there, were shoving it in the real mower, getting as fast as they could go.
That's bad. I don't know how we got on Prince Charles's frisbee. My frisbee that's now Prince Charles's frisbee. King Charles, I guess.
King Charles.
It's
Now,
the king
yeah.
now. Yeah.
Does
Now
that
there's
make
no
you
chance.
royalty?
I think you need more than the connection just to frisbee to get a title. I think it has to do with bloodlines and things like that. But
For some, frisbees are right up there with it, especially for disc golf players. It's right there. Oh,
okay,
that's
the
too
chat
good.
here is full.
Thomas needs to go back and chat to see what pickle juice is good for. I'm getting yelled at
Had
by
those Black
Debbie.
Stallion books growing up as a kid. That was the horse. I would love to go get bit by a King's Guard horse. Says Pember Glen. Do you think it comes with like a settlement? Is there like a hey, this happens? Take your $1,000 or your £1,000, whatever it is, and have a nice trip here in London on us. What happens? What happens when you get bit by the King's
There's
horse?
a lawsuit.
There's a lawsuit. That's what happens. Did you trigger that?
I did, yeah. I fired it in real quick. Or is it that's the King's Guard horse? Is it like you got too close, beat it, scram. I don't know how the rules apply over there. I know here in the States you can sue for anything. I mean, you and I can get sued for sitting here probably talking about it, but over there, different rules apply.
Maybe
I would assume.
maybe it's that if you were close enough for the horse to bite you, it was your fault. Right, so you shouldn't have been that close in the first place. And the horse was just defending you. We are talking about stuff that is not relevant. Thank you, CG. Back on topic, I guess.
But that's the name of our podcast.
Yes.
Now
We're back on topic to things that are not relevant. We got sidetracked on the king's horse. I guess that was actually okay. So CG, that was out of line. It's out of line to tell us we were not relevant when we were clearly being relevant.
unless CG was cheering us on for continuing to be not relevant, then that fits.
Yep. A horse bite bloody hurts, says Lisa. Did I pronounce that right with the bloody? Sorry about that.
Horse bite, blood hurts. Yeah. Pampered Glampert says they have warning signs. Say they may kick or bite. So
the warning signs are a lot like what you see at the zoo, where it's like, warning, the tiger's claws are real fast, real sharp, real deadly type thing. Those are the warning signs. And then they put the sidewalk right next to the cage.
Like super close.
What do you want me to do? Of course I'm going to test and see if my reflexes are faster than the cat's.
Which never works.
No, not good. Zoo stories are good. You like watching the videos of the guards, Katrina. I like watching zoo stories about, monkeys that like reach through the cage and grab somebody. The kid that hangs onto the celery stick when the giraffe tries to bite it, lifts him up. I like those videos as long as they don't end with, violence and things.
I watched one last week. A lady dropped her
harambe.
glasses in the cage or in the enclosure, and the monkey runs over there and he's, looking at him and he's puts him on and and he goes up and he sits back on his little perch and he's just looking around and he's acting all cool with this. He knew how to put them on. I think they were upside down, but still he got them where they needed to be. It's so hilarious. And of course now everyone's videoing and they're there for 5 hours watching this monkey with sunglasses. That stuff's awesome. It's so funny.
My favorite thing to look at the zoo, when I went to the zoo, was the display of all the things people had thrown into different cages.
Oh, I didn't even know they had something like that.
There's the zoo I went to as a kid. It had this big wall of and it was under glass, and it was like, these are real things that we've found in the cage. And there's like big old hunting knives, and it's like, why would you bring? I mean, clearly, I don't think that was dropped. That would have been like a whoosh. Get
Someone's thrown that at something.
He threw poop at me last time. I'm gonna get him. But no, it's funny. And there's all the baby binkies and everything else. The hair ties and sunglasses and just broken cell phones. But yeah.
I want to go to our zoo now here down to Fort Worth and see if they have an enclosure just like that. Because I've been to the San Diego Zoo. I was a youngster back then, so I don't know what I was being told to go watch by my parents. But that's neat. That's funny.
Okay, everyone, zoo trip this weekend.
Homework.
It's on the schedule. Go to your zoo. Come report back and tell us what the weirdest thing they have on display or what you see, what happens there. And screenshot it didn't happen. We need pictures. So,
oh, that's so awesome.
My favorite of the zoo is the monkeys and the otters. They're comical. The otters, is there some way you can push a button and have them perform on command? Because every time I sit outside an otter display, it's like it says there are 3 otters in here, and there's nothing.
There's nothing.
Unless you're actively feeding them fish or something, they're like, nope, I don't perform. So if you can actually catch them during feeding time, yeah, that's really cool. That's awesome. But other than that, I'll stick with the monkeys, just because they like to mimic people.
I'm a big fan of the penguin exhibit. They're just, they're just stuck running around
suits,
like this. Yeah, little suit and ties, and they can't move their arms, and they're running, and they just slide and dive and swim like nobody's business. They're just cute. I love those, and I love ducks. That's why I feed ducks on our front lawn every morning and every evening because they just come waddle up. They're fun to walk, I guess.
And ducks feed your lawn because they leave a mess everywhere they go.
They do. We've back to the power washer conversation we had 2 podcasts ago.
I keep holding this paper and picking up and trying to write something. I have not yet come up with an underrated to finish out the show with. It's blank.
I've got one.
You've got an underrated. I've got an overrated, and it sort of is attached to a story. Can I start with that?
Start with
that. If I tell the story and do underrated, I might not have to do an overrated.
Okay. Yeah.
Actually, I've got overrated, but not an underrated. So For those of you who watched the stream today, you might have noticed that I grabbed a little bit of food to eat. During the stream, my son had made me some orange chicken, and it was just from the frozen. It's pretty easy to make because it's you just take the orange chicken, which is already pre-breaded and everything. You stick it on a pan, put it in the oven, bake it, and then you warm up the little sauce and put it on it, and it's done. So he brought me some. He's like, here, gave me a bowl of it, and I ate it and chowed it down and everything. And then as soon as the live stream ends for lunch, I take the bowl into the kitchen to wash it and clean up, and I see the pan is still on the stove that you cooked the orange chicken on.
Right.
And there's a couple pieces of chicken, and it is just pink as all get out. The meat is just as raw as can be.
And you just ate the whole. Oh no. So what do you think at this time? What are you feeling? Do you immediately gag reflex or something?
How soon should I be worried? I don't feel sick. I don't feel like I've suddenly contracted. I don't know what you get from eating undercooked chicken. But it hasn't happened. I did all the live stream this afternoon. My overrated is undercooked chicken. So it's not a good thing. I don't recommend it. But I think what happened, the piece that was on there, he had like two pieces that were stuck together. So it made like this big super ball of chicken.
So it didn't get all the way through.
In the middle. Salmonella. That's it. 6 to 8 hours. Great, Pam. So I still might develop some symptoms is what you're seeing.
Perfect. We'll check in here in a few. Scott, I'll shoot you a text.
If I'm not able to live stream on Monday, food poisoning, I've got some food poisoning stories to share. But one of them is with another fellow addict that is in chat frequently. So I'll need his permission before I share it. But I'm feeling okay. I think it might have just been that one piece, but
that's, oh gosh, food poisoning. We've all had it in our adult lives. Absolutely. But the most I've ever had it from is Pizza Hut in different states. When I was traveling a whole lot with the sports issue, you got to eat at places all the time that can feed a lot of people at one time. And Pizza Hut was just a popular stop. It's a lot of pizza and it's cheap. And they do the pasta thing as well. I've had food poisoning so many times from Pizza Hut in different states. So I will not touch it to this day.
This is why sneeze guards are so important. I cannot eat from a buffet bar unless I mean, sometimes I will. There's some that are set up right that are like behind glass, but the ones that have like just the token and everyone's just hands are going in and stuff, I cannot do that. I'm done with buffets too. And in those days too, Golden Corral, it's where we went. I mean, how a team can feed 30 hockey players for the cheapest in the world because we eat like 5,000 calories a day or in one sitting. But you watch all the people that are scooping and they're like, oops, I missed that with bare hand and put it on. And then they, too much. And they just flick it off the plate with their bare hand back. And so I was hungry and thirsty earlier, and now I'm definitely not. I'll be going to bed hungry after this conversation. You want some chicken? I've got some leftover. You want to help yourself.
So it's funny you say that because my underrated ties into cooking. And for those that love to cook and experiment with different things, a real popular method of cooking is having a barbecue, whether it's done by charcoal, or I should say a grill barbecue style. Charcoal or propane or what have you to make meats and other things on it with, the open flame. Well, I was gifted a griddle, not a plug-in one, but a big giant flat.
Proper flat iron. Can't go wrong there.
The most underrated way of cooking ever because you can do your potatoes, bacon, eggs, everything at once with different heat zones. And then at night I can do the steaks on the griddle. Mm-hmm. I've found a way to make them better than I do on the grill itself. So my grill I gave to someone else. I only cook everything on that griddle. It is so underrated. It's amazing.
Even the most pretty easy.
It's so easy. You're scraping it to the back and shoving everything down the little grease hole, and it just gets collected. You just scoop it out, throw it in the chat. Yeah.
You have to throw something out. What happens? Well, I just put it on the grease hole and then leave it. I thought it just takes care of itself after that.
Well, because you don't have dogs, so you can get away with that if you want to. But I don't want my dogs to feel like you might here in a little bit with your chicken. So I collect the grease and then throw it away.
I feel good. And I would have noticed. I almost poisoned some friends. I made a dish that I loved growing eating up, and it was chicken and rice, and with like cream of chicken and everything. I made this dish, and I followed the recipe exactly, except for the fact that I used frozen chicken instead of thawed chicken. And a couple of people took bites and like, nope. The rice was good, but the chicken just was cold. So it's coming back to get me now.
Oh, chicken!
I'll have to get one. I need a flat griddle. That's something I need to keep an eye out for.
Well, especially with such a large family, you can cook so many eggs, and I mean, you can do your pancake, you can do everything. It's been a lifesaver, and it's one giant dish, so you're not, you don't have all this. It literally will change your life cooking on that thing. Love it.
So. Mrs. RA, are you on? Are you hearing this?
Nope.
Hint. Okay, maybe she wants one for Mother's Day. Does that work when I get her something that I want on Mother's Day, or is that's really bad?
No, I mean, as we grow older, we understand how to work the system. So I think that's completely acceptable because that's what you have to do. The gift that keeps on giving, right?
While you were talking, I came up with an underrated, and I have to say this is a big shout out to my friend who we actually, the one who we went and had dinner with, where I discovered my kids were pyros. He's actually the partner that's helping me, our friend and neighbor that's helping me build my garage into an Airbnb. And this guy, he can look at plans, and when he looks at plans, he doesn't just see lines and drawings and little words. He can like envision the whole thing, and he knows how to build it. It's just, and I will say what's underrated, and it's something that I don't have and I wish I did, is the handyman skills. To look at something and have the confidence to say, oh, we can just knock out this wall. Here, let me start the saw, and we're going to window's going to go here, and we'll just frame this in. That's not a problem. It is so impressive to watch somebody who has the confidence to destroy something, knowing they can build it up better than it was before.
Yeah, I'll agree with that.
Handyman skills are awesome.
But here's the catch-22, right? You save a ton of money being able to do that yourself. Yeah. But then your friends will never, ever leave you alone. Like the friend that is currently working in your garage. He never gets left alone. And they always say the average handyman gets everything done for everyone else, but he has a whole list of things left at his house undone. So that's what ends up happening.
Yep. He's a good guy. He's amazing. He's amazing.
Better to have that. That's cool. And those that are willing to share that skill and help out friends, that's even more incredible. That's fun.
It's 9:30, Thomas. I mean, it's 7:30 for you, right?
8:30, hour behind you.
Sorry, you're 1 hour. It's been a fun evening, but I think we might have to wrap it up and pull it to close. Is there anything else you wanted us to give a shout out to or talk about before we put a bow on it and ship it off to YouTube to store forever in the archives?
I just got to say, it's been real and it's been fun having the show on this channel. Next week, the host channel is going to be on Not Relevant Podcast, right?
Yes, it is. And I realize everyone's the same color over there, but there's no memberships. It's a brand new channel. But please give it a follow, give it a share, tell people about it, invite your friends. It's going to be a lot of fun. It will help us to be able to do it, as Thomas and I are trying to work and get this together and make it continue. It'll help us to have it on a separate channel as well. So
absolutely. So I just drop it in chats under Recovery Addict. There's the link. If you guys would just click that, go or subscribe, hit the bell, shoot, even give this one just a quick like. I see there's a handful that already been over there already for the night. But
Talking about stuff that is not
that's our outro music.
Oh boy.
Oh, that's not it. There's a canine. Hit the wrong one. Thomas, it's been awesome. Thank you, my friend. I'm gonna go read Google food poisoning and salmonella symptoms right now.
Goodness.
Now I'm worried. Apparently, I've got like 2 more hours to develop symptoms.
There's a lawsuit.
But yeah, so I think I'll be okay. To everybody in chat, thank you so much. It's been a fantastic week. Hope your weekend goes just amazing. Can't wait to hear about it. So please stay in touch, reach out to us, let us know the good and the bad that's happened, as we like to basically follow up on your lives and see how things are going for you. Thomas, get some yard work done. And when you're done there, come do my yard work.
I'll see you about 1 o'clock tomorrow.
All right, sounds good. Thanks, everybody. Have a good night.
Everyone in chat, have a great weekend.
Bye.
let no dead horse go unbeaten.